Heavily damaged. After NYT, Washington Post validates success of Indian strikes on Pakistan. Operation Sindoor, currently on a pause, launched by the Indian Armed Forces to avenge the Pahalgam terror attack, was a massive success. The magnitude of damage inflicted by India on the terrorist camps and air bases deep inside Pakistan compelled the Western media to recognize its impact. A large chunk of the Western media, which refused to recognize the April 22 massacre carried out by terrorists as a terrorist attack and termed the terrorists as gunmen and militants, had to open its eyes to the destruction the Indian military caused to the terror camps and Pakistani Air Force bases with precision strikes without crossing the line of control or the international border. After the April 22 Pahalgam attack, top media giants such as the New York Times and Washington Post failed to report that the killings at Bays Arun Meadows took place after ascertaining their religious identity as Hindus, and headlined their stories as at least 24 tourists gunned down by militants in Kashmir and gunmen launch rare attack on tourists in Indian-administered Kashmir respectively. However, both renowned American news outlets, which are widely followed worldwide and shape public opinion, had to analyze the aftermath of India's Operation Sindoor, which was launched on May 7 and paused on May 10 after Pakistan begged India for a ceasefire. While the New York Times conceded that India had a clear edge in targeting Pakistan's military facilities and airfields, the Washington Post acknowledged that Indian strikes on Pakistan damaged runways and structures across at least 6 airfields. However, the Indian Armed Forces have said that 11 Pakistani air bases were struck during the counterstrike. The WP conducted a visual analysis of the Indian retaliation and quoted the experts as saying that Operation Sindoor was the most significant attacks of their kind in decades of simmering conflict between the South Asian rivals. The review of more than 24 satellite images and aftermath videos found that the strikes heavily damaged 3 hangars, 2 runways, and a pair of mobile buildings used by the Air Force. Some of the sites hit by India were as deep as 100 miles inside the country, the Washington Post report said. It also cited a senior lecturer in international relations at King's College London, Walter Ladwig, and said that the 4-day airstrikes marked the most extensive Indian air attacks on Pakistani military infrastructure since the 1971 war. According to the report, William Goodhind, a geospatial analyst at Contested Ground, a research project that uses satellite imagery to track armed conflict, said that India hit high-profile targets in precision strikes with the aim of severely degrading Pakistan's offensive and defensive air capabilities. At Nurkan Air Base in Rawalpindi, just outside Islamabad, 2 mobile control centers were destroyed, the report said, aligning with India's revelation of the operational details. According to experts, Pakistan's Nurkan Air Base is one of the most important ones in the country as it is the military's central transport hub, WP reported. This base is close to the Strategic Plans Division, the unit responsible for safeguarding the country's nuclear warheads, which are stored in facilities across Pakistan. The Post also reported that Polari and Shahbaz air bases in Pakistan suffered severe damage, with destruction of buildings used as aircraft hangars. A large hole nearly 60 feet wide is visible in the roof of a hangar at Polari, which experts said was consistent with a missile impact, it reported. Walter Ladwig said that India had previously, after the Pulwama terror attack, limited its air operations to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or to remote parts of Pakistan. However, under Operation Sindoor, the Indian military struck military facilities in Pakistan proper at one time, which reflects a deliberate shift. India is treating terrorist attacks as grounds for conventional military reprisals, Ladwig said, according to WP. Swipe left for next video. John Spencer, chair of Urban Warfare Studies, said that Operation Sindoor was not about occupation or regime change but was a limited war executed for specific objectives. Critics who argue India should have gone further miss the point. Strategic success isn't about the scale of destruction, it's about achieving the desired political effect. India's restraint is not weakness, it is maturity. It imposed costs, redefined thresholds, and retained escalation dominance. India didn't just respond to an attack. It changed the strategic equation, he posted on X. Latest blogs.